Ok, vamos a hacer we're gonna do a sound test, sound check, mic check. Así que no se alegren todavía. Pero sí, acérquense para que bailen con nosotros, porque necesitamos energía. Alright, sound check, sound check, sound check. Are we good to go? All right, here we go, everyone. So, I want everyone to help us sing this. Me gusta la lima, me gusta el limón, pero no me gusta la deportación. Pero no me gusta la deportación. Me gusta la lima, me gusta el limón, pero no me gusta la deportación. ¿Ustedes? So one of the verses that we sing is, Señor Presidente, pare de mentir. And we want to say that to Biden to stop lying to us, to get it done. We need citizenship for 11 million documented people today. We can't wait any longer. Stop lying to us. Do your work. Do your job. Este song se llama El Son de la Bamba. You can dance, everybody. Se vale bailar, se vale bailar. Ya no llora mi pueblo. Ya no llora mi pueblo. Mi gente lucha contra leyes racistas. Contra leyes racistas aquí en DC. Y arriba y arriba. Ay, arriba y arriba y arriba iré. Yo no soy de la migra. Yo no soy de la migra, ni lo seré. Ni lo seré, ni lo sé. son la lucha, son la lucha. Sigamos luchando. Gracias.
감사합니다. 할 수 있다!
Gracias, gracias.
Un aplauso para esa música, por favor. Come on. Thank you. Quiero invitar a José Verdugo. José, nos acompaña por acá. Viene desde Virginia. Un extraordinario líder que va a enviar un mensaje desde Eastern Shore, Virginia. José, welcome.
Buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es José Verdugo Pérez. Soy originario de Guatemala. Emigré a este país en el año 2000. Tengo aproximadamente 21 años. Desde que entonces he vivido en el condado de Accomack, Eastern Shore, Virginia. Soy miembro activo de Casa de Virginia. Soy una persona trabajadora que me he dedicado a salir adelante en este país, y desde que vine he trabajado en una granja de pollos, que por más de 2 décadas me he dedicado fuertemente a servir como trabajador esencial, asegurándome que las familias tengan su comida en su mesa. Durante este tiempo de pandemia nos hemos arriesgado a incrementar nuestro trabajo el doble, porque sé que mi trabajo es esencial y que por mis esfuerzos nuestras familias tienen comida en su mesa, los negocios siguen en marcha y la economía sigue fluyendo, gracias a nuestro trabajo. A pesar de las inequidades que existen por la carencia de un estatus legal, siempre hemos demostrado que la mano de la obra inmigrante sigue y seguirá siendo esencial para el crecimiento de la economía de esta gran nación. Este día hago un llamado a todo trabajador esencial que se una a esta lucha para poder así demandar lo prometido y demostrar que estamos dispuestos a seguir haciendo los colaboradores de la economía de esta nación. Jugamos un papel muy importante en las elecciones recientes en Pensilvania y Georgia, organizando y movilizando votantes, como también así tocando puertas fuertemente por el presidente Biden, para poder así tener la esperanza y el respaldo del Congreso. Por eso, este día estoy aquí expresando mi demanda por lo prometido meses atrás, que el Congreso y la administración del presidente Biden nos dé la dignidad y la libertad. ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Sí se puede? Sí se puede. Gracias y feliz tarde.
Muchísimas gracias. José, muchísimas gracias, te agradezco muchísimo. Estamos casi terminando nuestro programa y ahora quiero invitar a alguien de una organización hermana con la que trabajamos en los últimos 20 años, Anaí Ortiz Fierros from Make the Road, New York. Anaí, welcome and thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Anaí Ortiz Fierros. I'm 19 years old and a youth leader at Make the Road, New York. I came to the United States in 2002 when I was only 8 months old and have lived in Staten Island since the age of 6. For decades, undocumented youth fought hard for the path to citizenship for the immigrant community. On June 15th, 2012, because our fierce organizing, DACA was announced, creating a path for young people to have a temporary relief from deportation and ability to work. However, on November 9th, 2016, my birthday gift was a slap to the face. We had a new president elected, and it felt as if everything was ripped out of my hands. Whatever hope I had for advancing in life had diminished like a candle being blown out. When the previous administration ended DACA back in 2017, I, like many others, felt confused, angry, hurt and afraid. I cried relentlessly. I anxiously waited to turn 15 years old to apply. The high school I attended has an excellent nursing program. However, during my senior year, I found out that in order to graduate with my nursing boards, I would need a social security number. No white scrubs, no proud nursing pin, and no nursing certification. All the years that I had been working so hard and the hours spent at my clinical placement at an elderly home felt useless. Soon after, applying to college became a roller coaster experience for me. First, I was filled with excitement and was proud that I would be the first one in my family to attend college. The spotlight turned to me waiting for my achievement. Then when I began looking for scholarships, my heart would tighten in my chest, praying that no social security number was required. Unfortunately, most did, and it didn't feel like there was anyone in my school who could help me. Luckily, I became a youth member at Make the Road New York, an immigrant rights organization that supports young people like me. Despite all the attacks from the previous xenophobic administration, I have witnessed how the community has organized throughout the country to defend DACA. I also witnessed the members and staff from Make the Road lead the Batalla Vidal lawsuit at the Supreme Court. Last year, we had a major victory in our lawsuit that restored DACA back to its original form, giving the chance to young people like myself to apply for the first time. A couple of days ago, I finally celebrated after my DACA application was sent out for the first time. DACA is more than a chance for me. It's the future for so many undocumented youth out there. They deserve to be able to do simple things like work, get a higher education, and have a stable life without worry that one day you won't achieve your dreams because of your immigration status. Congress and the new administration must act now and stop tearing families apart. While DACA is a pathway to some opportunities, dreamers are still in the limbo. My family and community and I cannot wait any longer. My parents, like many other parents, left everything behind when they migrated from Mexico to this country for new and better opportunities. They are the original dreamers. We can't forget about them. We need more than DACA. We need a pathway to citizenship for all. If this pandemic has taught us something, is that our parents are essential to this country, and we must recognize their contributions. We deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. We can't wait. Thank you.
Anaí, thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias. And now from my backyard in Maryland, from Progressive Maryland, I just want to introduce to you somebody who has been fighting for crime justice. Laurie Ann Sales, please join us.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to first off start by thanking CASA, the Green New Deal Network, and all the organizations that brought us together today. With a special thank you to People's Action and Progressive Maryland, where I'm a member, providing me the opportunity for speak. I'm Councilwoman Laurie Ann Sales, serving on the Gaithersburg City Council, one of the most diverse cities in our country. In 2017, I had the honor of becoming the first Black woman ever elected to the city of Gaithersburg. Growing up the youngest of 6 children, born to Jamaican immigrant parents, my vantage point of being raised as a first-generation Jamaican American and now raising my daughter offers me a global understanding of climate change and its impacts on island nations and here in the DMV. As chair of the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments Chesapeake Bay Policy and Water Resources Committee, where we've witnessed similar impacts of climate catastrophes and environmental hazards failing largely on marginalized communities, including Black, Latinx, Indigenous, and other people of color and rules. Many of these people are essential workers. In Montgomery County, I ran for the Gaithersburg City Council to fight for progressive issues like the DREAM Act. Before that, I was fighting with the Montgomery County Young Democrats to pass the DREAM Act and ban fracking as vice president of the Montgomery County Young Democrats. The fight still continues in my role today. As an active member of the Maryland Municipal League's Legislative Committee, where we advocated for the Climate Solutions Now Act of 2021 in the past legislative session, calling to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to a level that is 50% lower than it was in 2006 by 2030, a net zero statewide greenhouse gas emissions goal by 2045. Although unsuccessful, advocates are preparing for the introduction of bolder, more progressive legislation in next year's legislative session, as we all await leadership at the federal level to act now on this issue. The Thrive Act offers a once-in-a-generation opportunity for Congress to pass a transformational economic recovery package that puts over 15 million back to work, with access to good-paying jobs across the economy. From care work to manufacturing, with ambitious goals towards cutting climate pollution in half by 2030, while advancing gender, environmental, economic, and racial justice holistically. As a public health professional and legislator, there's no confusion about the challenging work ahead. Yet we must lean into this moment and address these issues together, because we won't have another chance at this. We need to tackle climate change and racial inequity simultaneously while rebuilding our economy in a way that addresses intersectionality of all of these issues. As we've witnessed the untimely death of over 3 million people worldwide from the pandemic, we know now more than ever before how precious time is. We're talking about real people, real lives, our community. We cannot wait to deal with the climate crisis and the crisis of racial inequity in our communities. We cannot look towards the future with an us versus them mentality. We have a chance now to address the challenges facing people and the planet today. The next generation deserves it, and we will continue to make our demands loud and clear, united in solidarity for a better, safer, cleaner, and more just, sustainable environment for all. Thank you. Si se puede!
Thank you so much. I just want to thank everybody who is here and present and given all of that love and energy. I want you to know that, like, when you are cheering for folks in the crowd that are up here on the stage, you're giving everybody life. It is not easy to get up here and talk, and y'all are really, really helping everybody just stay grounded. So thank you for sticking with us. We got 2 more folks coming. Climate is incredibly important, and we are so blessed that we partner with a great group called People's Action that has affiliates all over the country. So I want to bring up Allison Arney. Did I get that right? Arnay. Oh, I like that. Allison Arnay, who is with New Jersey Organizing Project, an affiliate of People's Action.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, my name is Allison, and this is my daughter, Amara. Thank you. We're with New Jersey Organizing Project, and we are so honored to be here with all of you today and to fight for the future our communities deserve. When Sandy hit our home in Atlantic City, we thought the storm would be the worst of it, and that once the waters receded, everything would go back to normal. But a year and a half later, even though our home survived, our neighborhood was full of tarp and plywood, and our landlord put the house up for sale because he couldn't afford to elevate. We tried looking for a home in our community, but inventory was low and rent was way too high. Our family was displaced, separated, and would later split up permanently. In 2017, groups stood outside of my congressman's office protesting the ACA repeal. And one of those groups was NJOP. I learned that their roots actually stemmed from Sandy recovery, and that even 5 years later, 1,000 families still weren't home. And the reason NJOP was in the middle of the healthcare fight, even though they started with disaster recovery, was because so many Sandy survivors weren't just financially harmed, they were physically and emotionally harmed. Some of our leaders have had multiple strokes, and most suffer from PTSD. 2 years ago, I got to talk to people in my old neighborhood and other shore communities. Half my block was empty, and I remember driving home fighting a panic attack. Some homes were still being rebuilt. My across the street neighbor was foreclosed on in the middle of an elevation. Her home currently sits on the ground rotting from the foundation up. We learned that nearly half of the people we talk to are experiencing flooding at least once a month, but only 13% feel like their town is doing enough about the flooding. I met families that are struggling to stay in their homes while taxes and flood insurance rates rise. Climate change is ramping up efforts to gentrify communities like mine, where families have lived and worked. Since Sandy, we've experienced more frequent sunny day flooding, more intense storms, more of our neighbors moving, and more health problems. We can't wait for climate action and good green jobs. My daughter will be 18 in 2030, and that's an important year because if decision makers continue not to act, our communities are going to be underwater. When she was born, my fear was that she would need an arena bigger than New Jersey. But then she tried Jersey tomatoes, and I was like, she's not going far. But now my fear is that she's going to face a lack of choices, and she's going to be forced out of New Jersey due to rising seas, limited housing, and a lack of job opportunities. There's a narrative that people who live at the shore are rich and can't and shouldn't rebuild. But not one person in my orbit could afford to just walk away from their home. We're all part of the working class. And then there's the question, where will everyone go? We live 30 miles inland now, and the farms are inundated with water all the time. I'm here to fight for green energy solutions and to make sure that my community isn't forced to move, and that there's adaptation and mitigation that's socially and economically just. $1 trillion for a recovery package? We need $1 trillion just for renewable energy investments. We need $600 billion for retrofitting public buildings and low-income housing. And most importantly, we need investment that takes into account the impact of climate change that is affecting families just like mine. I'm here to fight with you because we can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. We're going to call up our last two speakers, and we are going to wrap up. I'm going to invite Gina. Sorry, and I'm missing my last speaker. Norma. Norma. I'm going to need some help, so you're going to come tell me how to pronounce your name.
We have like 2 minutes because the police is coming. 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. 2 minutes. Oh, how can I? You just do your thing.
Go. We need 2 minutes because the police is going to come.
Hi. Hello. 안녕하세요. My name is 현자 신노먼. I'm a community organizer from Houston, Texas, with the Nakasek chapter. I am an immigrant from South Korea. Although I may speak English with accent, and even though I look different, I am also an American. During my life here, I have learned that being American means standing up for justice. Being American means speaking up and acting out what I believe is right. I want my Asian and other immigrant community to enjoy voting, traveling, and go to college. So I came here today to show my support for citizenship for all 11 million undocumented immigrants and 35,000 inter-country adoptees, and let you know that you are not alone, and we are in this together. As Asian immigrants, many of us came to America with little money and limited English. However, we shared a similar idea. If I work hard, I can do something or become somebody to make America a better place for all Americans. This American dream, however, is impossible for so many immigrants. Without the security of U.S. citizenship, my community cannot thrive. While I can exercise my right as an American, many of my community members live with the fear of being separated from their loved ones through deportation. I met many undocumented Korean immigrants and Korean adoptees who came to U.S. as children without U.S. citizenship. They are denied access to economic opportunities and critical public benefits like higher education and health care. Citizenship cannot wait. No podemos esperar a la ciudadanía. 우리는 더 이상 시민권을 기다릴 수 없습니다. I know as someone who was once an immigrant and is now helping my community members become U.S. citizens. I see the importance of the U.S. citizenship when I work with my seniors. Okay, I don't have much time. So, it is because of my love for my community. I cannot stay silent. I belong here. We all belong here. We are Americans. And so, Congress must act. We need a pathway to citizenship for all 11 million undocumented immigrants and inter-country adoptees here in America now. Repeat after me. Yes, we can. Si se puede. 할 수 있다. 할 수 있다. Thank you.
All right, family, thank you all so much for being here today, for all of your energy, all of your spirit. Let me say again, thank you so much to Casa in Action. None of us would be here today, would not have happened without you. We are so ready to take on this fight. We're going to ask our First Nation folks to come and close us out. Free Leonard Peltier and all political prisoners. They're going to close us out in front. Thank you all so much for being here. Have safe travels home. We love you.
Muchísimas gracias a todos. Muchísimas gracias. Libertad para todos los prisioneros políticos. Freedom, libertad. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Gracias por venir. Thank you.
We did it.